Hello, good evening and welcome to the Hot Seat. In the seat tonight we have a man who spent 40 years in the military, has been previously described as the best army commander in the world. And good evening and a warm welcome to you, General Sarath Fonseca. Is it right? Shall I refer to you as General or?
I am General still.
Okay. You've spent 40 years in the army. You were credited with winning the war, being described as the best army commander in the world. And you were then stripped off your rank. And how did you feel the first night you had to spend in Velikada prison?
I was expecting it when I decided to contest for presidential election. I was preparing myself to face any eventuality, knowing my opponent, his temperaments, his nature. I knew that he can behave in very bad manner. So I was mentally prepared to go through any situation when I decided to contest. When he started going through various framed up charges and various kangaroo courts, then I knew that this can be the final outcome. So when I went there, I decided to go through it and enjoy the new experience.
General, they say, they're on record as saying that the former president blamed you and holds you responsible for the murder of Lasantha Wickrematunge. In that context, now that you have, your government is in power, you have sent the Rajapaksas back to their home, and now what will you do with this new environment that you live in, where it's your government, your officers,
Yes.
And your alliance in power? What will you do to hold accountable the real perpetrators of this crime against Lasantha?
The previous ruler and his brother were the Secretary of Defense. They started pointing the finger at me, trying to tarnish my image. They were threatening me, saying that they were going to hang me. Openly they were saying that without shame. In fact, they were trying to get some officers and soldiers also. They put them in the cell. They were torturing them. They were forcing them to say that who worked under me at various places, that they got involved in a situation like that, in action like that, with under my instruction. So they were trying to frame something against me, and I think they wanted to really hang me, most probably. That was their ulterior motive. But truth prevailed, so they could not achieve such unruly ambitions. I'll be very happy actually if the present president can have a sincere inquiry. He can appoint special commission or something. Not only Lasantha Wickrematunge, maybe the disappearance of Ekneligoda, then attacks on other journalists, Puvaddala Jayantha, Keith Nair. Because he had the habit of, once if somebody is attacked, he used to summon the editors and the big people in the journalist sector, give them a breakfast and say, if you all get involved in the services, or don't try to rub the servicemen on the wrong side, then you will have to face the consequences. Make some undue comments like that.
Right.
Then he leaves suspicion in the mind of various people,
Right.
whether security forces are behind these activities. That is what he was doing.
Right.
So I think it's very good for the present president, because we have selected him and we have campaigned for him to go for the good governance. He must clear all these things. It's good for us, good for him. Then all the doubts will be cleared.
And General, in terms of good governance and so on, would you welcome a once and for all a probe into these allegations that continuously dog our country in terms of war crimes, for example? Would you welcome? What kind of system would you welcome?
Yeah, because my conscience are clear. I commanded the ground battle. That was the major part of this whole thing, basically the ground battle. He made huge sacrifices for the sake of the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the country. So we don't want to end up with a bad name after achieving something like that. So if there are credible allegations, of course everybody who got hurt over the defeat of LTT also can go around spreading rumors. So they have to be fair by us also. We followed the rule. We were abided by the international conventions, Geneva conventions, human rights rules, everything. We did our best to ensure no damage is done to public property, the minimum damage and minimum casualties for the civilians. We made a lot of sacrifices in the process trying to save the civilian life. So we don't like people without any credible evidence. If somebody is pointing the finger at us saying that we are violating human rights. But if there are inquiries, credible evidence, we must have the inquiry. Then only we can clear our name. So I am ready, personally I am ready to go to any inquiry, anywhere in the world. The UN inquiry or any inquiry, to go and clear the name of the army I commanded. Any individual without going away from my orders, if some individual has committed any crime, he is answerable for that on his own, not the army. But as a whole, the army did not commit crimes. So the government also will have to decide whether they go for the international inquiry or a local inquiry. Government had the right to decide on that. This is a sovereign state. But of course we have to show the world that we are sincere and we are taking some credible action on this.
Under this new government, where they are appointing all these independent commissions, and the independence of the judiciary seems also to be established or re-established. In that context, and then keeping into our sovereignty, would you welcome perhaps a local inquiry, but with maybe international observers? Would that be a possibility? Or
are you referring to the war crimes again?
Yes.
Yes, so we have to come to some understanding with the international community now, especially with the UN, where we are members of the UN, then decide how it should take place. But finally it is the government who has to make the final decision. We are with the government, working with the government, but I am not even in the parliament. So it's the president and his team who are responsible for answering such questions. We'll have to decide on that. So as I said earlier, I am ready to face any situation.
Are you clear in your mind that the Sri Lanka Army was very above board and very disciplined in their approach?
Yeah, we maintain 1000% discipline. I was very particular about it. This whole operation ground battle was planned, ordered, maneuvered and monitored by me. So I knew what was happening on the ground. But of course I could not keep my eyes open, or I did not know out of 200,000 army what each and every man doing. But the entities at various levels, what they were doing, what they have achieved, everything I knew. I was monitoring it. So I can give that guarantee. There is no problem about of course we went out of the way to ensure the civilian safety. That's why, for example, 2008 my army had 2,000 killed from our side. 2,000 troops died. 2009, because we had to control our fire, we could not use the heavy firing, heavy weapons, especially to take the trapped civilians away from the terrorists. They were holding them as a shield. To take them away, we had to make a lot of sacrifices, change our fighting methods. As a result, we lost about 2,000 troops for 4.5 months in 2009. That was the situation where we had to sacrifice in order to save the civilians, ensure the security and the safety of the civilians.
Do you think that the input in terms of giving orders to some members of this of the army during the war by Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, do you think that was a possibility? Do you think it happened? Could he have given some instructions which were contrary to your leadership?
Yeah, I know that he has been trying to give some the messy instructions here and there,
Right.
trying to show that the seniors that he also knows what is going on. No, he is trying to show that he knew how to show the fight the battles, because he had little experience before 1990, when the LTT was having only improvised weapons and improvised bombs at that time. So he wanted to show that he also has a say, he has some capacity, he knows how to control the battle. So he was, he was in the habit of telephoning some people, trying to give them various stupid instructions. But the war was fought as per my instructions. I was monitoring it very closely.
There seemed to be a slight delay in the announcement by the President, the formal announcement that the war was over. I think he came back on the 16th, I think, from Jordan. And we expected, the country seemed to expect that this war was finished, which is why it came back. Do you think he came back because he was given the incorrect information, or?
No, they were in a big hurry, last 2-3 weeks,
Right.
very impatient. Even he used to tell me, whenever he meets me here and there, on verandas or somewhere even, that he can't take up any more pressure now, tremendous pressure from everywhere. I must do it as fast as possible. We waited for 32 years, but he was not ready to wait for 2 weeks, 2 extra weeks, very impatient. So that day when you were returning by Sri Lankan on the 16th, when the flight was taxiing also, he has given a call to Chavindra Silva from plane and asked whether it is over or no.
Okay.
But it was not over. Chavindra Silva has told him also it might take another 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Still he came down and he wanted to kiss the ground and put a bit of a media show there to show the country. Okay. But it was not over yet.
Oh, I see.
I knew that it was going to take another 3 or 4 days. Because 16th I was communicating with the ground commanders also. And then we captured the whole area by 18th. But still fighting was going on in patches around the Nathikandal lagoon, various places. The moment I told President the ground has been captured, but the fighting was still going on, very heavy fighting. Prabhakaran was still alive. Then he gave announcement from Temple Trees, he started promoting us, he summoned the ministers, he cut the cake, everything, but the fighting was still going on. Then he addressed the parliament also, fighting was still going on, 19th morning.
Oh, I see.
Only after he finished the addressing the parliament also, when I was returning from the parliament only, around 11 o'clock, 11:30, 19, the fighting stopped and we found Prabhakaran's body there.
Do we know if it is any one particular officer? Do we know who made the fatal shot?
No, we don't know. It's not possible. We had a battalion fighting in that place because these people had got trapped in the lagoon, in the swamp, under the mangrove in the water. The fighting was very serious, critical. We also had to use some mortars, heavy mortars, because we were getting unnecessary casualties trying to go through the marsh, go through the swamp. Then in a situation like that, there were commandos also trying to attack from one flank. So in a situation like that, you can never say who has hit the last bullet.
And General, what did you feel when you took that call and you were told the formal confirmation that this man had been killed? What did you feel? Did you know that was the end?
Yeah, on the 18th evening, 18th I announced on the TV that we have captured the whole territory. We have liberated the territory. So 19th when the fighting was finished, when we found his body, I had the satisfaction of completing a mission. Because we had to commit ourselves, go through this very difficult, tough task, 2 years and 9 months. So at the end of it, I think everybody in the country most probably felt the same way, not only me.
What will you bring to the political game in Sri Lanka now that you're out of the army and you're now in politics? What difference will you make, or do you hope to make
Yeah, we want to introduce and some or other change this culture of political culture in this country, introduce a new culture with the good governance and gentleman politics. Now, the majority of the politicians today, I think, in our country are not doing gentleman politics.
Well, they tie people up to trees. There are some politicians who
they do. Most of them, that's only one person.
Right.
Most of them are very corrupt. Even the present government cabinet, I think, fair percentage there are corrupt ministers. So this is due to the prevailing corrupt political culture in this country. So we have to change it. That is one of my ambitions. That's why I came to politics also. I came to politics to make this difference. First save the country from the corrupt politicians, then introduce a new culture, political culture to the country where the people are recognized and the people are given due respect. People live in this country with peace in real sense and security in the real sense, law and order in the country, no political interference to day-to-day life of people. We need a very decent political culture for this country. So that I will try to do at any cost. If that has been achieved, then if the politicians have started going on that track, after that we don't have to be in politics. I don't care who becomes the president after that of this country or who are the cabinet ministers. If they do the right thing for the interest of the people.
Some people describe you, amongst public, describe you as a national treasure. And considering then your record in winning the war against terror. To now that you're out of parliament, not a single person has has resigned to accommodate you. Do you find that surprising?
Yeah, but they cannot accommodate me just because somebody resigned from somewhere.
Right.
It has to be from the party I contested. Unless if somebody else resigned from some other party, then I have to join that party first to fill that vacancy.
And you don't want to do that?
You can't do that because I have my own party now.
Right.
So we thought the person who is sitting in parliament on my behalf, my seat was deprived to me through undue means, not justifiable means. So because now the present president has given me a free pardon, so that means I am a free person now, I have my rights. So we expected the person who was in parliament on my behalf to resign. He openly told the country, told the media that he went and joined Mahinda Rajapaksa because he wanted to get what I have lost back to me. So when he had that opportunity, now he is not doing it. So we have thought of going for legal help for us, but it's going through, the process is going through. But I don't have still 100% confidence on the prevailing judiciary methodology in this country, because it also has been corrupt in the past. So we have to wait and see what will happen.
And will you contest under your own party in the next parliamentary election?
Yeah, definitely. I have to do it for the sake of other organizers we have. If I join a major party, then I can get through. I will benefit, but then all the other organizers will lose their status and positions. So therefore, we will contest from our own party, and also we want to be a formidable force in the future political movement in this country, where we can put substantial pressure on any government which comes, and to ensure that the government moves in the right direction.
This government has been come in on a sort of a roller coaster ride of good governance, and I think the whole country was as one in wanting change, regime change. Well, that's been achieved, but we did a small poll, and we found out that only 1 in 10 people are happy with the present performance. It's 65 days or whatever, something like that. And the people appear to think that there was a lot of promises given, but the delivery is very little. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think, yes, I also agree with what the people, if the people feel like that, that has to be most probably the reality. So we also feel like that, but I know President and Prime Minister, they are interested. They want to fulfill the promises they gave. But as I said, there are a whole lot of inefficient, corrupt parliamentarians under them also. So I have seen sometimes when they want to move certain things, a lot of obstacles, not only in the parliament. If you take the Attorney General Department, that is corrupt. The leadership is corrupt there in the Attorney General Department. They still try to move in the same direction where they were moving earlier. And there are various corrupt elements all over, in various departments, in various institutions. So things cannot be changed overnight. That problem is there. But on the other hand, if we gave the promise to the people, we have to do it. So it may be that it's a little harsh, but we have to do it. We have no choice. So President must, and together with Prime Minister, must, they I think wise enough to understand the situation. They will have to do what is required, expected by the people.
General, what are your thoughts? Will there be a third force?
That is what we are trying to create actually.
You want to be the third force?
As it is, we are the third force.
Okay.
But I think we have to move forward a little more effectively. We have to get a little stronger because we have just started our movement, political movement. Third force is required for this country because two prominent parties, they have a long history, but I don't agree that they have done what is expected from them in the past. They have not done the right thing for the country. They have failed. So therefore, we can only depend on them, trust them whole time. A third force which can think differently, which can act differently, which will produce results differently, may be required for the country.
And what are your thoughts on the 19th Amendment, the presidential powers being reduced and transferred to Parliament and the Prime Minister? What do you feel? Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, presidential, even our the party policies.
Yeah.
Last May Day, we gave our policy.
Yeah, your manifesto.
Yes, manifesto out.
Yeah.
In that also we said our idea was that executive president must remain, but additional powers should be removed, which he can abuse. Those powers should be reduced.
I see.
That is what is happening at the moment, I think. Finally, that's going to happen. All the various people had various ideas. But total abolition, it does not give guarantee that the whole country will go in a different direction. Everything will be fine after that also. Even a corrupt Prime Minister can mess up the country the same way if he have a corrupt Prime Minister. So that is not the solution for all the problems he have. So I think because people have voted also for the president, people have elected the president. Also we see in the background the previous president who was rejected, he is hovering around, trying to enter into politics again. That is not with the right intention. That is not with the agenda for the country, for his personal corrupt agendas. So in a situation like that, maybe present president Maithripala Sirisena will have to be in charge of the issues in the country for a certain period. We can't just clip his wings and put him aside. Then, on the other hand, the Prime Minister, the parliamentarians will also need certain amount of powers to control matters, so that President cannot be a dictator or somebody. He has to be answerable to Parliament. So a situation like that is the most practicable, I think.
The Governor of the Central Bank admitted to making a mistake in the sense that he admits that he didn't make this information known to all the dealers to have a true public auction amongst the dealership. This seems to be causing a lot of controversy, a lot of media attention. Is that the kind of thing that is needed now, controversy?
No, definitely there should be action taken against him.
Yeah.
He can't make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
He can't meddle with the public money like that. If he make mistake, if he cannot be accountable even for 5 cents, he has to be taken to task. He must be dealt with. There are no 2 words. Otherwise, we see like what he had done is something like equally bad as what the previous people have been doing. So he can give various excuses, but I don't believe that he had done it by mistake or something like that. As per his present responsibilities, present status, he can't make silly mistakes like that. He has to take responsibility. So if he has the correct stature, the correct psychology to come to appointment like that, he must admit his mistake and get out now. That he has to do.
We see a very sort of a very glaring omission, in the sense that on the one side the Prime Minister in Parliament announced that a Parliamentary Select Committee will look into the various abuses and wrongdoings at the Colombo Stock Exchange. But there is no committee issued or been proposed to look into the bonds.
Yes, so the Prime Minister, I think, has to initiate that. That is what is the right thing to do now.
Yeah.
So anyway, the central bank comes under Prime Minister, so
Yes.
he also has to be kept responsible for what has happened.
Right.
So he has to take necessary right action to rectify that. The Parliament Select Committee, yes, I think that is the way out now.
Well, I wish you all the very best and hope to follow you politically. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for being in the hot seat tonight.
Thank you very much.
From St. John.
All the best.
Thank you.